videographer changed positions for a better view, but I'm still at the point where I left off. And I'm thinking I need to raise F3 a tiny amount. Okay, now I have what I'm looking for. I have two pairs of octaves. That are both very similar sounding, and I have progressive contiguous thirds. And from that point I can construct the rest of the temperament. Now, up a third, those two up a thirds are done. So I want to go from C sharp down to F sharp, down to fifth. Now at first I'm going to make it a very pure sounding fifth so that you can see right away that that's wrong, other than the fact that it is perfectly pure. It creates a minor third between F sharp and A, which has a fairly pleasant sound, yes, but it should be faster than that. It should be about the same as F4 and A4. So now if I by mistake I made the fifth slightly wide, the minor third would beat even slower. And I'd know for sure that that's not right at all. Now, as for the quality of the fifth in equal temperament, I'm not going to be counting beats. I'm not going to be doing anything like 3 beats in 5 seconds or any such thing. I'm just going by the fact that it's slightly impure. And if it isn't right at this point, I will be able to find that out very soon and correct it. But I have a nice buzzing minor third. And it's very similar to the F4 and A4 thirds, so it's good enough to go with at this point. Up a third, A sharp I can tune from F3. And again, I'm just looking for a quality of fourth type sound, not trying to count any beats. And you notice that the fifth sounds a little cleaner than the fourth. Now I will check my progression. And I hear that F sharp, A sharp is slightly faster than F and A. So I'm ready to go on up a third, which I can tune from as a fourth from A3. And Again, just this quality of sound type of thing rather than counting beats. That creates a major third with A sharp. And I hear that it makes a progression. There's also another check available. And I hear that there's a difference between the two, and maybe it's even a little too much. And so if the difference between the A sharp D third and A C sharp is a little too much, I will want to check back and see if maybe an interval is tempered a little too much. And I think I can maybe flatten D just a little bit. Now I have a better relationship between the third and sixth. Down a fifth. That creates a minor third. These two fifths sound similar, so I will go ahead with up a third. Well, it's not tuning thirds, sorry. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. I want to tune it from F sharp. And check with the third. Alright, that's sounding pretty good. That sounds very pure at this point. So yeah, it's a little too slow. The third is. Here's another third sixth test. And two sixths. So I will go down a fifth now. Which I can check as a fourth. And creates another minor third. Okay. Up a third. note is E4, up a third. Now, as you saw, I've only been through the temperament sequence from beginning to end, and wherever I needed to correct myself, I did so along the way. So the results now are the first time through this sequence. But as you will hear, it may not be absolutely perfect, but it is very good. And it certainly will pass the Piano Technicians Guild exam. What I heard so far, I'll do fourths first. I heard a fifth tier that sounded perhaps a little too tempered, and a fourth that sounded a little too tempered. All right, but I'm not going to just randomly move notes. I was depending on C sharp as being correct, so now actually it sounds to me like C sharp may have flattened itself slightly. Not very much. Fifth sound a little more consistent with the others. So it was not the F sharp that I needed to move, but it was indeed the C sharp. So now this fourth sounds a little noisy, but I don't know whether it's C or G that needs to be moved, but I'll find out. I believe it sounds like G needs to come up a tiny amount. Right, now we'll listen to all intervals of the temperament again and see how good it sounds. Contiguous thirds. In inside thirds, outside sixth. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what it is. I never do this. There we go. And by the way, I never do this whole thing. I never tune pianos in equal temperament. The only time I do anything like this whatsoever is when it regards the Piano Technicians Guild exam, or that I'm trying to help someone learn to tune the piano well enough to pass the Piano Technicians Guild exam. So this can also show you that the way that I chose to do it, even though I'm not very practiced at it, or even very experienced at it for that matter, because I don't do it, it works. So here are the fifths. Let's see, major third, sixth. And that concludes how to set equal temperament using the up a third, down a fifth sequence.